Hi guys, Dirty Adventure here. Just in case anyone is crazy enough to change the motor mounts on 650 w650 Kawasaki, here's how you do it. It's pretty straightforward. First of all, I used a strap just to secure, just in case, secure the engine from the bottom. I kind of took the strap and went under the engine over this section here, and I just held it like this. Now this is not, it's not super tight because it's just a safety feature. The real way to do it is to support the engine, because you need to support the engine to remove the motor mount, right? Because so that you don't lose the engine falling down. So I just use the car jack with a bunch of wood, and I put cardboard just so that the oil drain plug wouldn't be bent or overly stressed. Anyway, you just put the car using the car jack up the engine. Your goal is not to lift it, just to keep it in the same position. And this is just a safety, just in case. You don't have to do this. It's just me being paranoid. Next thing, you need to kind of remove, move the kickstarter, just like that. Remove the panels from this side and from the other side as well. Then you do need to remove the cover here. For that, you need to remove the shifter pedal and your foot peg. Not a big deal. This is 44 Newton meters torque. This is way less. Be careful with putting that back on. Apply the torque that's in the manual. Okay, in the user manual, they should give you a torque for, attaching the shifter pedal. Do not over torque it, because it's gonna strip, and it's gonna be a painful lesson for you. So anyway, once you remove the panel, you're able to remove the axle, right? Because the mounts, they are like this, and there's an axle going through to the other side, and then the nut is locking the axle. So the engine is actually on an axle. Anyway, so in order to remove the actual mounts, you need to remove this bracket here, the black one. See this bracket? See those two bolts? 25 nanometers torque when you put it back. Okay, so this one's already replaced. I took the bracket out, and the old motor mount was stuck really tight inside. So what I did, this is how it looks like from the other side. I took it off from here, as you can see here. You see these holes, right? So I took it out, and see, it's all bent, and it's like you cannot push it out with your hands. So what I did, put it on the vise, not in the vise, but just on the vise. Just open the vise slightly, and just, roughly put it on like that. And I used, what's that socket? 21 millimeter socket. I just put it on top, and I carefully use the mallet to tap on it. Tap for a long time. Don't hit it really hard. Just tap on it, and eventually it will come out. Then when it comes out, it looks like this, right? So I actually had to use WD-40, so I sprayed some WD-40, and let it sit for, I don't know, 3-5 minutes before I started hitting my mallet on this part, on here. And then using the socket, you know, it was in there. So using the socket, it fell through, basically. Socket pushed on it. I was hitting the socket until it slowly kind of went out, and fell, just like that. So a vise helps. Also, if your vise is not securely attached, put some either shims or some sort of O-rings so that vise will not move out of the base. Okay, so that happened to me. I was hitting it so hard that the bolts that hold the vise would you know, start to lose their grip on the vise. Anyway, so yeah, so you clean it from W40 with the paper towel. I put a little bit of just a tiny amount of grease, and I apply the grease on the new motor mount. This guy, that's the new one. That's the old one. As you can see, it's cracked. It was on the side, and like if you press on it, you will feel that it's pretty stiff. It got stiff from constant vibration, obviously, and heat, so it lost some of its elasticity. Yeah, so also there are retaining O-rings here. They are also kind of used up, as you can see. Anyway, all this is replaced. This is the new one, just like that. That's the part number. That's the part number of the engine dampener, engine mount. Okay, so yeah, and after that, so I put a little bit of grease, just a tiny bit, only on the ribs here, on these ribs, just a little bit, and then I'll wipe off the grease, literally with a paper towel, so that you have the tiniest speck of grease still remaining on top, and that will allow me to push this in into this bracket through this side, back in. I'll clean this inside as well, and then I'll put the new one in, and then I'll put everything, install everything back. As I said before, 25 nanometers, Newton meters. These bolts 25, and the main axle is 44 Newton meters torque. And after that, once you put the axle through it back, you're done. You put everything back, obviously. You put the covers back, and you put the other cover, the front sprocket cover back, and you're pretty much done. Hope it helps people. I had a problem. The reason why I'm doing this is because I had a bit of too much vibration happening on this bike. This is a fairly new bike, only a couple of months old that I have it. It's 45,000 kilometers. And I'm feeling that there's just a little bit more vibration than I'm prepared to suffer. And I figured, you know, maybe it's the motor mounts. And you know what? I changed the front ones and I put new fresh motor mounts there. And I'm telling you, about 30% of vibrations went away. And then I put new bushings, rubber bushings in the shocks from here and on the other side. And another 10-15% vibration went away. And the more these rubber components you change, and I'm hoping the motor mounts here will remove another bunch of vibrations. So over time, you know, this is what, 22-year-old bike. The rubber loses elasticity, and as a result, all the vibrations go to you know, to you. So all these rubber parts need to be changed. That's just the way it is. Okay, people, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other videos you would like me to post.